Hello and welcome to Fast Forward EVs. Today we're going to do a battery degradation and 35 mile per hour range test on this 54 Packard. Oh no, that won't work. Let's do it to this 2022 Tesla Model 3 long range instead. Okay, for starters we're at near 100%. Near as it would let me get. For some reason, even with a level 2 charger at home, it won't let me get to 100. It stops at 99, and now that I pulled it out of the garage, it's at 98. But anyway, the point of this was to document what it thinks its range is. 291. It said things like 298 when it was at 100% recently. Recently got the update that indicates that this is supposed to now actually pay attention to your battery health, which it never did before, and it still isn't because this car can't go that far. It used to say things like 315, so it has adjusted a little bit, but not much. So anyway, my goal today is I need to run this battery down and then start the battery conditioning test that they've added to the user side of the menus now. It used to be only in the service menu. And I did that test a year ago, and it showed 80% state of health, which was a little depressing, but not totally surprising. What'll be interesting is a year on of my ownership, will it have gone down any more? So the two things I want to do on this trip I'm taking is drain the battery down till it's, I don't know, 10% or so we can do the battery health test, which drains the battery down to 0 and then charges it back to 100. And the other thing I wanted to do, I figured while I was doing that, I could do a 35 mile per hour range test of this car, like I have done for the ID4. The trouble with a 35 mile an hour range test, first of all, it runs counter to the goal of draining the battery, because it will drain a lot slower at 35 than at 70, is finding roads that you can long-term drive 35 miles on without too much stop and go. So what I'm looking for is a long stretch of suburb. And right now, I'm heading towards Muirfield Village in Dublin, Ohio, which is this long stretch of upper middle class and lower upper class suburbia. And what I'm going to do is just whatever percentage we're at when I start that, we're going to count down 25%. We're going to start, reset the trip odometer, drive down till I've used 25% of the battery from that point, and then multiply that by 4 and call that the 35 mile per hour range. Okay, we just turned to 87%. We need to reset some things here. Where the heck is the... There it is. Current drive reset. Okay. Yes. 35 miles an hour. So at the tippy top northern point of the Muirfield Drive area. Let's see how far it is to the south point. Well, unfortunately, this is kind of the end, southern end, and it's only been 5 miles. That's going to be a lot of looping. And we're back up near the tippy top, and roundabout at this end will be our north point. Roundabout, go to the roundabout down by Avery is our south point, and see how long I can stand this, basically. So, first loop, we've gone just under 10 miles, so basically a 10-mile loop. Guy walking on the berm triggered the phantom braking. That's also about the third time I've passed that guy, so he's probably starting to get suspicious. Hello again, my friend. Okay, I pulled over here because we just got to 77%. And looking at that, we've gone 34 miles. Took over an hour. I'm thinking if I want to go, I would have to go all the way down to 62% to be 25%. So that's another 15%. So that's another over an hour and a half more. Just driving up and down Muirfield. And I don't think I'm running out of daylight, and temperatures are going to drop, and it's going to make the test invalid. So I think we're going to call it 10%. We're going to take our 34, let's call it 34 miles, multiply that by 10 for 340 miles. Okay, it's like a whole other night. I could not get the car down far enough yesterday evening, so I drove it some more today, got down to 10%. It is evening again, and we are going to do the battery test. So I plugged the car into my home charger. And so that's a prerequisite. You want to have it plugged into a charger, because what it's going to do is drain the battery down to zero, as close to zero as it can, using, I think it just runs the front motor in some inefficient way. Makes a lot of noise. And runs at pumps and stuff. And then it charges to 100%, and then based on how much juice it's able to put in the battery pack and compared to what it did when it was new, it gives you a battery health. So let's click this. Your battery's healthy. Yeah, that's what you think. Wait till you test it. So, battery health test. Warning. Vehicles park. Yes. Battery level 20 or less. Vehicle connected to the internet. Yes. No software updates are scheduled. Yes. No battery thermal alerts. Vehicles connected to an AC charging station. Charging station can provide at least 5 kilowatts. Yes, all those are true. So that's it. I guess I come back in the morning and maybe it'll be done. And we'll see what it says. Okay, it's the next day. There's the news. 76%. So down another 4% from a year ago. Kind of disappointed in that. Wonder what it's going to be like when I get to 200,000 miles. 60%? Hope not. So what's it say now under here? 274 when fully charged instead of 315 and higher like it used to say. So that's definitely reflecting real world conditions and battery health. And that's an improvement over what that number used to do, which was not take any of that into account. All right, that's it. Later.